Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It's Thursday, July 9th, 2020. Welcome, welcome. I'm Jennifer Cotton. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm hope to see some people here, and I will be glad to see you. And if you're watching replay, thank you very much. My name's Jennifer Cotton. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas. I do Facebook Lives every week to bring you, hey Sherry, some stamping fun, some tips, hopefully. Good morning, Shirley. And maybe some, inspiration, entertainment, whatever you want to call it. Hey Rhonda, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Shirley. Good morning, Landa. You must be bored because I didn't give you any work this week. Don't worry, it's all coming. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Pat. Good morning. Hey, Kathy. Good to see you. Finding myself on the iPad over here. Betty, good morning. Thank you for sharing, Pat. Okay, so let me jump in and then I'll say hi to more people. To some information. So I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 18 years, almost 19 years now. It's getting closer to that 19-year anniversary. And what that means is I teach people how to make cards, scrapbooking, gift packages, and more with Stampin' Up! Products. So if you like anything you see today, most likely you can purchase it from me. You just head over to my online store, which of course I always put a link to in this video, and you shop. And then your stuff gets shipped directly to you. I mean, I can place orders for you as well if you need help. But if you want to do that one-stop shop, click the link, shop, it ships directly to you. And then I have a online ordering special every month as well, which I'll tell you about. But first of all, today we're going to be making 3 cards with the Fancy Phrases bundle. So cute. So there's a stamp set. It is red rubber, which you'll see when I stamp, and then a punch. And so this is the Fancy Tag Topper Punch. So you can purchase those separately, but if you buy both together in the bundle, it's 10% off. That's a new product from our annual catalog that just came out in June. And it's also the bundle that I'm using in my card class this month, although we'll be making different designs. So as you guys come on, say hi. The reason, well, hopefully everybody's saying hi because they want to, but also they are entered, you are entered when you say hi, whether you're watching live or replay, to win the 3 cards I'm going to make today. So, hi everybody. Thank you guys for saying hi. So I got incredibly behind on that, on saying hi back to you. Also, if you share the video, you get entered again. And both of those things help my business, to be quite honest. On Facebook, when people comment on your videos, then Facebook shows it to more people. And when you share, then more people can, find the love of stamping and maybe become a customer. So I appreciate it. So when you share, though, comment that you shared, because Facebook, with your privacy, most people, it doesn't tell me who shared. It just says X number of people did it. So thank you guys very much for doing that. And thank you, Debbie. Good morning, Carol. Linda, good morning. I'm looking to my iPad over here because I can see more comments at a time. Hey, thanks for sharing, Linda. Good morning, Valerie. Top of the morning to you. Hey, Stacy. Good to see you. Betty, thanks for sharing. And good morning. Good morning, Cindy. And thanks for sharing, everybody. Cindy, Stacy. Good morning, Stacy in Florida. Hey, Mary. Good to see you. And again, thanks to everyone for sharing. Good morning, Mary she's having a beautiful morning in Virginia Beach. Awesome. Rhonda, I was going to say Rita. Good morning. And Teresa, hey, hot stuff. And Margie, thanks for sharing. Okay, so If you would like to place an order today or anytime this month, where did I put my stamps? Here they are. I have an online ordering special. So there are benefits to ordering other times of the month with classes and stuff, but if you just want to go online and place an order, you will get a free class if your order's $25 or more and it uses the monthly host code, which you'll see when I point the camera down, and you will, of course I post it in the video. It's on my blog. It's in my emails. You know, you can't really miss that host code. Anyway, you will get a class packet mailed after the month ends to make 4 cards using the prized peony stamp set. So if you don't have that set, you can substitute different flower images and words to make your cards. You'll get a PDF tutorial also. But if you also don't have the stamp set, it could be something you place on your order. And then we die cut, emboss, punch, everything possible, and you get the paper ready to stamp with your supplies and assemble, and a PDF tutorial. So if it's 25 or more, you get that. If your order online with the host code is 50 or more, you also get a free full accessory. And if your order is 150 or more, you get all of that, but don't use the host code, and that will give you also some free benefits from Stampin' Up. Automatically, when you're ordering, if it hits 150 or more, you get what we call host benefits or Stampin' rewards. These are the cards from last month's online ordering special. So you don't get these because we're using Prize Peony, but just to show you the cards, how cute they were. And so, for example, and these just got mailed a couple days ago, and I emailed tutorial yesterday. But for example, all of these little jars were pre-punched for you. The flower was pre-punched. Basically on this one, you stamp the straw and you stamp the greeting and then assemble. On this one, we couldn't pre-punch your jar because you need to stamp it first, but you can just hand cut it out if you don't have that punch. Hand cut out the flowers either way, hand cut out the greeting. But there's embossing here. We've pre-done that for you. So we do as much, and we as Landa, as we can. And you just stamp and assemble. I did have to substitute a different ribbon than this one because this one's back ordered for quite a while. I think until, I can't remember. I don't want to say it wrong, but it's back ordered. So I substituted a different yellow ribbon. Anyway, there's the cards that we sent out to everyone who ordered online last month. Okay, so any questions on that, let me know. Oh, I forgot to show these on my last Facebook Live. A couple of cards I received in the mail. This one is adorable, and it's for a customer who moved, so she sent everybody, like all her friends and family, a We've Moved card. I don't think I can show that. Oh yeah, I can. If I do this, it hides her new address. But look, it's one of those stand-up cards. So cute. And it says, "We've moved. You're always welcome here." Isn't that cute? That's from Sharon. And then I got one from Oma. And this is, I've got an envelope stuck to it. This is actually a card she made in a class with me in the past, which is what you're supposed to do with your cards you make in classes. Send them out. And then, but on the inside, she has a stick, like something glued in that says, "I had no clue the one tiny rubber stamp purchase would lead to this, ... which is so funny because I met her, Oma, at my very first party ever over 18 years ago. And she already knew about stamping, but I became her Stampin' Up person, and I've known her ever since. So thank you, Sharon and Oma. Okay, so info on upcoming events you can sign up for. These are all to go, so you can take them anywhere in the United States. And if I offer tutorials only, you can take those anywhere in the world. So I normally have 4 live classes a month. We've been doing them to go for several months now. All 4 have, for local people, a tub of supplies you can check out, take it home for 23 hours, stamp, punch, you know, all the supplies will be in there, and then return it. There's a link to sign up for that in my emails. We still die cut, punch, emboss everything we can for all 4 of these classes. We only use 1 stamp set per class. That's because it's to go, so it will be easier for you to complete them at home. You know, you don't have to buy 20 stamp sets. You just might need to purchase one stamp set. Your fee for all 4 includes a written tutorial for that class, PDF tutorial with measurements, photos, etc. When you're registering for any of these classes, you can add on the stamps if you need them, or the bundles. PDF tutorial with all. And for these 4 classes, you can just purchase the 4 tutorials only for $30 if you like. Okay, so the first 2, card class and scrapbook, the RSVP deadline is July 16th, today's only the 9th, so you still have a while. They're $15 each, or free with a $20 order. And then shipping is separate. So when you register, you can add on shipping of your class kit. You just add it one time, whether you take 1 or all 4 of these classes. And if for card class and scrapbook class separately, if you place a $50 order for one or the other, then that class ships to you for free. So obviously if you do it for both, they both ship free. So card class is going to be 4 cards for $15, free with a $20 order, and we're using Fancy Phrases bundle. Now we'll pre-punch this for you, of course, so you'll just need your stamp set minimum, but I would buy the bundle if you don't have it, so you can get that discount and have that punch to use in the future. Scrapbook class is 3 12 by 12 pages for $15, free with a $20 order. And we are using Tasteful Touches. So again, we're going to die cut, punch, whatever we can for you. You're going to use the stamp set, stamp, and assemble. Now there is a single page that uses a balloon stamp. So you can use any balloon you've ever owned for that one. And then the other 2 pages will use Tasteful Touches. And then, I might need that back for another event. Okay, then the next 2 classes. Hey Candy, good morning. I've seen some people hop on since I've been blabbing. Dana, good morning. Good to see you. Sharon, thanks for sharing. Hey Jackie, good to see you. Thanks for sharing, Teresa. Hey Evelyn, good morning. Liz, good morning. Valerie shared, thank you. Linda, almost forgot to say hi or to get on the video. Either way, hi Linda. Sherry shared, thank you. Let's see who else. Linda in Idaho, good morning. Diana in North Carolina, good morning. If you guys just hopped on, make sure you say hi, because then you'll be entered to win the 3 cards I'm going to make today. Okay, scrapbook class, I think we talked about that. The next 2 classes, these classes include product with your fee, and part of that product is designer paper, and you will cut your own designer paper. So you'll get the PDF, it'll say cut it 4 by 5 1/4 or whatever, and you'll cut that. Otherwise, we cut, emboss, die cut, whatever we can for you. So the first one is the sampler class. It's $28, and you're going to make a 12 by 12 sampler like this here, home decor item that you supply your own frame for, and it's going to get, oh awesome Linda, hey Linda Henderson. Anyway, step-by-step instructions. We also package this up in order of the squares, like it's a really well done class. We're going to use the Celebrate Sunflower stamp set, and I meant to pull the dies because they're going to really play a big role in this class as well, the sampler. But we'll use the dies. We'll die cut what we can for you. And it's going to include the Flowers for Every Season designer paper, which is really pretty, and some ribbon, but I just need to make sure whatever ribbon I choose is not low inventory or back ordered, so I haven't decided yet. $28, that's over $20 in merchandise included. You, for all these, supply your own stamps and ink and stuff and stamp at home. And then last but not least, the Forever Fern Stamp a Stack class. This one's going to be gorgeous. I showed Forever Fern last week on Facebook Live, so you can check that out. We're going to use the designer paper. Your fee is going to include a lot of stuff on this one. Still $20 value, but half a pack of the Forever Greenery designer paper, half a pack of the Forever Gold laser cut paper, half a pack of gold hoops, half a pack of Forever Greenery ribbon combo, etc. And that's, of course, based on availability, but I always give you at least $20 in merchandise. And that is for 12 cards. You make 3 each of 4 designs. Cut, emboss, etc. for you. Okay, so if you want to sign up for any of those, I need to send you the RSVP link for per Stampin' Up! Policies. So I can't just post it here, but I can email it to you, text it, Facebook message it, etc. Or if you're on my email list already, which I encourage you to sign up for, then you get that link sent to you a few times a month. Don't forget, you can add shipping to any of those when you register. Or if you're local, don't add shipping and you can pick it up. Okay, Retreat in a Box is coming. This is basically an offer of 5 different classes to go, and you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, or all 5. Retreat, the big one, the Retreat in a Box, is $90 for an exclusive bag, pillow gifts that are completely put together, assembled, ready to enjoy, $50 in Stampin' Up! Merchandise, the opportunity to add on optional classes, which are the other 4 events, a chance to win door prizes, at least 8 make and takes using the Flowers for Every Season suite, and that is, I put my stamps away too early, these 2 stamp sets here plus the dies and punches. Again, we pre-do what we can for you so that technically you only have to own the stamps to assemble, stamp and assemble. And then it's going to include a lot of that Flowers for Every Season stuff with your fee. They're going to be so pretty. We usually do a sampler, scrapbook pages, and cards, and sometimes a gift packaging item in our make and takes. But you'll make at least 8 projects, PDF tutorial, all that stuff. $90 includes shipping. And then, but the add-on classes you can also think of as individual classes to go that I'm offering. And there's 4 to choose from. There's the Boho Indigo, Stamp-A-Stack. So I showed all this stuff in detail on the last Facebook Live. But it's really pretty. And we determined that this paper looks kind of like blue china. So super pretty. Check out the video. And this is the stamps that I'll be using with this class. But I, Orlando, will be pre-die cutting some vases and stuff for you from that kit. The kit that gets the vases and the other stamp set is $70. That's why that's not part of this class fee. It's called Boho Indigo. So 12 cards, 4 designs, 3 of each for $30. Each class is $30 and includes at minimum $20 in merchandise. Then I'm going to have a Tasteful Touches sampler class. So I haven't done a sampler with this one yet. So that will be my other class that I'm offering. That's $30, includes 20 in merchandise, and it's going to include actually the designer paper I'm using today, so I'll show y'all that when we start the cards, but it's called In Good Taste, and then ribbon, and again, those, now I don't know how to pronounce it, Janet, Delft or Delft, China. Thank you. Janet told me last week also. The sampler class, again, the accessories will be determined by availability. And then April, my retreat partner, is offering 2 classes, and you still sign up through me. I pay her, she pays me for her people. Peaceful Bows Christmas Stamp-A-Stack, so you can get a jump start on those Christmas cards. 12 cards, 3 designs. It's going to include red rhinestones, gray shimmer ribbon, foil sheets, silver foil, and envelopes. Of course, they all include envelopes if we have cards. But again, we make substitutions if stuff's not available. And then April's having a Forever Greenery class for, you're going to make a mini album, exciting, and 2 cards, and it's going to include the Forever Greenery stuff with the fee. Okay, you can still sign up for the stamping cruise, Eat, Beach, Craft, Sleep, Repeat. We don't know if it's going to truly happen, but it's at the end of October, so we will see. But if you can't or don't want to sign up for that, either way, even if our live cruise is canceled, it will be offered to go. And so we call it a mega retreat in a box because it costs more, but you get 6 classes. This is what they do on the cruise. 6 different classes, PDF tutorials for all of them. Of course, all the stuff is cut and everything for the 6 classes. They're mostly holiday classes. We haven't figured them out yet, but we'll be using the holiday catalog, and you'll be getting stuff from our holiday catalog, which I can't show you the inside of, but it's going to look like this. With your fee, it includes over 150 in merchandise. It's going to be awesome. So watch for info on that coming out. Almost ready to stamp. Stampin' Up! Has bonus days going on. We've been doing this for a few years now in July. For every $50 you spend, you get $5 coupons to spend in August. No limit. So, you know, stock up on those coupons throughout the month. Don't place a $45 order and then a $55 order later in the month. Combine or do 2 50s. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't go back and say, oh, she spent this. Well, do the math. No. And that works for demonstrators too. So if you're a demonstrator like me, every time I place an order of my own, 50 or more, I'm getting coupons too. So that's a benefit of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, is we get our discount, we get to order, blah, 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 but we also receive any perks customers receive. So we get host benefits, we get bonus days, you know, whatever it is. And then we get other perks like getting to order from new books early. So I got to order from this book July 1st. I've only ordered a couple of things, to be honest, because I order, I have so many events right now with current stuff that's what I'm working on, and I don't even have time to play because I do this as a full-time business. But, of course, you know, I will be ordering much, much more. But I have the opportunity to order it now, get host benefits with it, get my discount, all that stuff. Hey, April. There's April, my retreat partner. Kim, I miss you too. Good morning. And who else? I thought I missed someone else. Sharon. I can't remember if I said hi to Sharon in Steamy, Ohio. And I forgot, Sharon, I was going to comment on the person that said it was a beautiful day where they were. Yeah, it's like hot, humid here in Texas. Yeah, so it's not like terrible, but it's kind of just hot. So steamy is a good word, Sharon. Okay, so if you want to join Stampin' Up! Like me, like about half the people watching this video right now are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. There's no downside to it. You will get a discount on your own purchases. Now, if you join right now, you get your discount through at least December and technically January 2020 with no obligation. You don't, like, you could just be like, I want to get that new die cutting machine in August at a discount because that's when demonstrators can get it. So I'm going to buy the kit now, get some holiday stuff because we can do that, of course. You can get that in your kit. And then I'll buy that machine in August at a discount. And then I'll just not do anything else. You can do that. Or you can keep getting your discount whenever you feel like it, at minimum through January 2020. It's pretty awesome. If you purchase it in the kit in August or September, it's the same. You get that discount through at least January 2020. So if you get it now, you get a little extra time. I'm going to show you when I point the camera down the swaps from my team meeting. That's another perk of being a demonstrator. It's optional that you get to participate in swaps if you like, at least with our team. And right now we're doing them all to go, so they're just being mailed to me. I swap them out and mail them back to you. And there's other things you can participate in with other demonstrators as well, even, you know, from one team. We gather monthly, again, optional. We have team incentives, challenges, give away lots of prizes at our monthly gatherings. We did a fun mystery project on our last team meeting. That was a lot of fun. And then even if you weren't there, you could participate on Facebook. We have weekly in our Facebook group, weekly creative challenges. It's a lot of fun. So just contact me if you want to get that. The kit is only $99 plus tax, free shipping, and you get to choose 125 in anything you want. So it's kind of a no-brainer, if y'all know what I mean, because it's a great deal. Like if you have a wish list of $100, really, because if you place an $80 order, you're going to pay me about $100 with tax and shipping. So if you have an $80 or more wish list before tax and shipping, the starter kit is a better deal for you. Pay $99 plus tax, that's $107. Pick $125. You also get a free past paper pumpkin in there, that a random one that they throw in. This is last month's paper pumpkin, and that's our monthly craft kits in the mail. They make great gifts. They make great projects for us. They're awesome because it's an all-inclusive craft box that's a surprise each month. The one for last month had a yellow theme. It's usually an orangey red box. But there's instructions. There's tissue paper because it's a gift every time. Of course, you can reuse that. There's ink every time. There's accessories every time. There's a stamp set every time that's exclusive to this kit. You can't get that anywhere else. And then all the supplies you need to make the projects. These were cards, and there were some really cute embellishments. There's adhesive in here as well each time. Not a tape runner, but like glue dots and dimensionals, which you'll see in the video. And then for this one, I thought the card bases were really pretty. I haven't made mine. That's not the card base. It's these. I haven't put mine together yet, as you can see. But really pretty bases to put the card stuff on. So if you want to get the craft box, which you do, you want to sign up by the 10th of every month. Today is the 9th of July. So sign up by tomorrow. You can get it two ways. You can sign up, which means a subscription, and you will get the box every month. $22 plus tax only. That includes shipping, and it shows up at your door. They run it on the 10th, or the deadline's the 10th. They start running it on the 11th, and we get it. Well, it depends on where you live. It's because it's based on the post office. But I get mine around, I forgot to say the deadlines for a class, which reminded me because I usually get it around the time of my classes each month, which is, let me look at the dates here because I don't have my calendar right handy. July 13th was my deadline to sign up. So I'll probably get it around the 20th or so. Something like that of each month. But again, it depends on where you live and your post office and all of the post office. But going back in time, the sampler class and the Stamp-A-Stack class, the deadline to sign up is July 13th. Okay. Anyway, so July's paper pumpkin is called Summer Nights. So of course, we never see the full thing, but there's a sneak peek of it. And the cards are going to be postcards. You're going to get, I believe, yes, 9 of those postcards with envelopes, a stamp set, ink, etc., instructions, and tea light bags to have a nice summer night with, tea light bags. And then the add-on, so there is an optional add-on that's $10. You don't add this on through Paper Pumpkin. You order it through your demonstrator or yourself if you're a demonstrator. Hey, Pam, good morning. Now, I didn't know until someone asked me that this is available right now, and it is while supplies last, which I knew. But this add-on, you can go purchase it now as long as you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. So it is only $10 for 24 card bases, and I know this is just a printout, but they're really pretty. So card bases and envelopes, standard size. It makes at least 20 additional, minimum 20 additional cards when you combine it with the remaining stuff from your kit. So, any questions on that, let me know. I'll post all these links and information when I post, after I edit this video, when it's over. Anything I talked about, again, if you want a link or more info, just let me know. I'm going to point the camera down now. And the first thing I have sitting on my little surface here is the swaps from my team meeting this month. And they were awesome as usual, but they were a little bit more awesome this month, in my opinion. I don't think that's exactly right, but we'll see in a second. So I'm going to show you these swaps first. So what a swap is you RSVP, so we get a number. You know, X number of people are participating in the swap, and then that's how many cards you make. You can copy the card. Like, for example, I know Mary Ann told me that she copied this from the annual catalog. But isn't that gorgeous? But she copied the design from the annual catalog, and some people probably didn't copy their designs. I don't know. But gorgeous. And then for now, you mail them to me. I swap them out. If there were 10 people, then you get back 10 different cards, one of each. What else do you need to know? That's pretty much it. And then these are gorgeous cards. So that one, I love this one. Evelyn made this one, and it is just sponging, like so pretty. This one, some of these you need to see. I thought I had names on the back of all these. I think I gave the wrong ones away. Anyway, this one was made by Dorothy. Look at that. If I could hold it properly, you would see how that hangs down, but that hangs down when it's open. And then the inside. And this is a very thick card. She used lots and lots of layers on that one. This is from, I believe, Barbara Ragsdale. I really think I have Yolanda's name on this one. I don't know. Yolanda's is awesome. Not only, okay, look at that, but the detail she put into covering the back of these, well, not that one, but these two images with the Misty Moonlight cardstock. And she made that, and this has Wink of Stella, and she made that for everyone participating in our swap. Awesome. This one is by Sandy. This one, another incredibly thick card. So like nobody's being cheap on these swaps. This is from Robin. And then this is a contest that my team can, they are entered for, and everyone in the team votes for the winner, and they get $20 in merchandise if they win. And so I always say I'm glad I don't have to pick the winner, that they get to vote for it, because how could you? And then this was not a swap, but Mary Ann gave me this card. Isn't that cool? It goes this direction, but let me open it that way. And she put a little note in there she sent it with her swaps, and it says, wanted to share my double Z fold card with you. She gave me some money for something she owed me for. And then she said, thanks so much for all you are doing. Can't have a better leader and sweeter friend. So thank you, Mary Ann. Thank you very much. Let me try to straighten myself out there a little bit. So team is awesome. I always have had an awesome team. Now, if we have time at the end and I remember, which y'all know how it is, I also have some swaps to show you guys from a swap. Another demonstrator, sort of benefit thing that you can do is participate in swaps, but that was not with my team. It was an online swap I did. So I need to slide this. So how do y'all like this this grid paper? It is a new product that you can actually order on my website. It's $9, I believe. And I believe I don't remember how many sheets it is, maybe 50. It's less than the grid paper in our annual catalog. I don't know how I like it for this video. It's a little, I don't know. But it's the 5 new ink colors. So I may not use it on a future video. I don't know. But anyway, there it is. What it's for is for when you're stamping, you can use this to protect your surface. And it looks pretty. The grid comes in handy, all that stuff. And it's double-sided, of course. One side is inches, one side's like centimeters. So what else? Oh, and then here's my monthly host code. And don't forget about mystampinstuff.com. That's my website where you can keep an inventory of all your Stampin' Up! Stuff, what you own, It's searchable. And if I remember correctly today, I will tell you how I used it in preparing for these projects. Okay, so what is the order number for the $10 add-on? I'll put that flyer. It is, well, there's a flyer around here. Oh, here it is. I'm like, 154973 for $10. 154973. And I don't think there's a limit. You can just order them as many as you want. Just the fact that they could run out. So this is the In Good Taste designer paper that I'll be using on the cards today. So I just wanted to show it to you. It is a bigger pack. I believe you get 24 sheets of each, total 24 sheets, and I think it's 2 of each design. And I'm sure I've shown this before, but it's amazing. So I just wanted to show it again. And we'll be using a couple of the designs from it today. Not all of them, of course. I'm not making that many cards. Love it. All these textures, some look like it took me a while to figure out, but this looks like carpet to me, like that office carpet, hospital something. There's stone, there's wood, there's paint, tile. So it's just awesome. And then like almost sweater material on some of them. So there's that, In Good Taste. And that's what I'm using on that class I was telling you guys about, my sampler class in the Retreat in a Box offering. Okay, so for this first card, I have my card base, which is Whisper White, 5.5 by 4 1/4, 5.5 by 8.5, sorry, which is just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper cut in half. Then I have a piece of Night of Navy 4 by 5 1/4 that has been embossed with the 10 tile embossing folder. By the way, if you guys don't know, I post all of the pictures of these and the supply list on my blog after each Facebook Live. Sometimes it's a day or two later, but today it'll be eventually today. I have to get this video uploaded to YouTube, saved, and then put on the blog too before I post it. A piece of that designer paper, I'll give you the measurements in a minute, and then a scrap of Whisper White cardstock, and then I'm using the Whisper White crinkled seam binding. But I pre-cut my pieces because they did need to, well, anyway, I didn't want to be wasteful. You'll see why. Okay, and then the stamps I'm using from Fancy Phrases are, when I count my blessings, I count you twice, and then this cute little leafy flowery image here. Okay, and I'll be using the punch. Fancy Tag Topper Punch. Okay, so for this card, the first thing I'm going to do is fold my card base in half. I'll use a bone folder. And I like to align the 2 corners on the table, because if I do it in the air, then when I set it down on the table, it shifts. Only pinch it once and then press really firmly with the bone folder, which will give you less wrinkles on the inside, which is always nice. Then I'll set this aside. For the embossing, all you do is put the paper inside the folder, position it where you want, if the design, if it matters. Close that, and then run it through the die cutting machine of your choice. I'm currently using the Big Shot, which I believe I will be using on the video in a second, so I won't pull it over now. And then just use the proper, what we call a sandwich, for the thick embossing folders. And then when it comes out, it looks all embossed. Hopefully that shows on the video. So I did that. For this, I had to remember what I'm even doing on this card. So both of these are going to get punched with the tag topper. Grab my ruler. This piece of white, they're both 2 inches wide because that's the width that your paper needs to be to go in this punch. A note is when at least on my trimmers, when I cut at 2 inches for these punches, any of our tag toppers, I always put the paper to 2 inches and then go a tiny bit above it. You want it a nice tight fit. If it's loose, one of your sides is going to look funny. But what you do, you just unlock the punch, set it on your table, and you put the paper all the way back and punch it. So this piece is 3.5 inches long. I don't remember if I brought a scrap over here to show you how I figured out how long I needed it. But you push it in all the way as far as it will go, and you press. And then you get this gorgeous little tag image. Let me look real quick and see, because I think I did, not on that card. Oh, I did for my pink card. So I don't have a good example, but pretend this piece is longer. What I do to figure out how long this needs to start out is I have a longer piece. I put it in and punch it. And then I stamp what I want to on there. And then I go over to my paper trimmer with this guy. And I put it back together. Or you can just use a ruler, actually. And so I measure from the top of that piece that I cut off to the bottom of my image. And I say, okay, the paper should have started out at 3.5 inches. Hopefully that makes sense. That's how you figure out how to make multiples without having to punch, stamp, cut off, punch, stamp, cut off. So hopefully that makes sense. Now I basically did the same thing with this piece, but it's going to be a belly band. So I cut a 2-inch strip that was like 11 inches long. And then I punched one end. And then I wrapped it around. This was just a scrap. You can use printer paper when you're doing these determinations also. Jennifer, I agree about tin tile folder, and it goes really well with this design of this paper, of this designer paper. Anyway, so I punched one end of an 11-inch piece. Then I wrapped it around a normal card size piece of paper. I got out my little guide and figured out where I needed to cut it off. Hopefully this is all making sense. And then I punched it, and then I put, I'm just going to use these because they're a different color. Put these back on here and figured out how long this needed to be, which I believe is 8 3/4. Hopefully that makes sense, but that will help you when you're using these kind of punches on determining sizes. So it was 8 3/4 by 2, punch both ends, and that will wrap around as a belly band in a minute. The stamping on this card is very simple. We're going to use Night of Navy ink. And I'm going to first stamp When I Count My Blessings at the top. And then I want this little flower image, but I don't want it to be as dark. So I'm going to stamp it on the scratch paper first, and then stamp that right about there. And that might not even be the same as this card because I can't see the front. And then I count you twice down at the bottom in full strength Night of Navy. So it's actually very simple stamping on this card. Extremely simple stamping. And that's it. The only other thing I would do for me is, of course, you could put an image on the inside, but stamp and sign your name on the back before you glue everything down to the card. Okay, so I have a piece of ribbon here. I have 2 different lengths of ribbon. This one is 16 inches long. And I pre-figured that out because you guys usually see me doing stuff from the roll, and you can do this from the roll, but because I wanted to double up my ribbon, it was a little trickier. Anyway, so I just pre-figured it out. So it's 16 inches, but I'm going to cut it in half. I want to try to cut those at an angle. So cut it in half, and then I'm going to pretend this is one piece of ribbon. So I basically just wanted it doubled up. And I'm going to make a loop. Let me put them together flatter. This isn't difficult, it's just difficult on video, plus this is a very staticky ribbon. So I'm going to put the loop in from the back of the tag, and then find the 2 holes and feed all these loose ends through that. So we're just, I don't know what that's called, but that's a thing people do. But we just have more ends. Okay, so this card, again, simple. I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal, and I did learn a good little trick, or knock on wood, so far it's good. It's been working for me. To get it to release well, but keep the tape part on right here where we want it sticky, is you place it on like normal, and then basically bend that all the way back to break the seal. What that does is it breaks it off here, and it doesn't let the tape do that little stringy thing, which is what pulls it off of there. I learned that from another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so thank you very much. I cannot think of her name. Maybe starts with a B, maybe. So place that on there. Then Stampin' Dimensionals for my tag. How's everybody doing? Look over on my comments real quick. So I'll use a couple of these, my sticky scissors. And like always, you don't have to cut these in half. I just like to, for some reason. And I actually think probably I can partly blame this on my daughter, because she's super into, which is not a bad thing, she's super into recycling, reuse, reduce, you know, your global footprint, all that stuff. So I'm like, I feel guilty using an entire dimensional when it's not necessary. It gives you just as much lift. So anyway, she's guilted me. So this just goes right in the center. That is the card. So all I need to do is trim down my ribbon. But as far as the card design part, that's it. So it is a very simple card. But then the belly band's going to take it up a notch. So I did eyeball this, but if you're real picky on that, you could use this grid. I'm not, because I haven't measured it out. But you could measure how many inches is on each side. But I'm just going to try to loosely fold this over. You don't want it too tight. And you can see how much space is here. So if you wanted less or more, use the technique I showed you earlier to make yours longer or shorter. So I'm going to take this ribbon and basically do the same thing I just did on the last one. This is a lot of ribbon, but I want a double bow. So 12, 24, it's about 36 inches. So I'm going to cut it in half. I just find it easier to make one piece and then cut it in half, even though it's the same difference as cutting 2 pieces, so that doesn't matter. And then feed both of these through the little loops, or the little holes. I'm going to make some loops. And this card is for me. I know it's right side up for you guys, but it's upside down for me. I'm going to leave it upside down because when you tie your bows upside down, they come out right side up, usually on your card. So I'm just going to tie all 4 of these strings as if it's one ribbon. And grab my reverse tweezers. This is the only thing you can't buy from me today, pretty much. And the ruler. Because we don't sell them, but reverse tweezers are an amazing tool for stamping because they do this. And your hands are free to tie your bow. So I may have gone a little long on this ribbon, as you see, but at least I didn't, at least it's not too short. So a really pretty double bow. gives this plain card a lot more substance, makes it more substantial. And then I'll just trim these down. And there it is. See what you think. Thank you, Pat. Here's the first one I did. I think the strings are even a little longer on that one. So yeah, so that's it. Simple, but just add a belly band. It just, do it on my original, it just slides off. Now, I did think of this, that whoever you give the card to might untie that when they figure out they can't open the card, which is fine. Then they just won't have a pretty bow on there anymore. And you just kind of have to bend your card a little bit to get it back in there, or at least I do. So that might happen, or you could somehow glue that shut, or just say, don't untie the bow, slide it off. But anyway, there's the card. If you guys like it. Thank you, Jennifer. She says she loves dark blue and white together. Definitely. Like, just the color combos sometimes is all you need to make a pretty card. You don't even have to design that well, like, as you see. Okay, so that's our simplest card today, like our sort of, I don't know, most basic or whatever. This next card, let me grab my stuff. And I want to remember to tell y'all how I used my Stampin' Stuff to pick out the little label that I needed. Okay, so let me just put all the supplies here first of all. I have a Whisper White card base, 5.5 by 8.5, a piece of that In Good Taste designer paper that's 4 by 5 1/4. These two Night of Navy. This is another navy and white card. The last one is not. This is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And this is 2 by 5 to mat on top of it. And then the Whisper White piece is a scrap that I'm going to die cut out. So on mystampinstuff.com, my husband and I did this website. My reason I asked him to build it, I say we did it, I told him what to do and he built it, was because I wanted to be able to search things to see what will work for my project. So for example, I could search blessings and find that stamp set, or flower or heart, and all my stamps that have hearts. And of course I can mark what I own, what I don't own, what's on my wish list, etc. So one of the big things for me is labels. And in this site, we call this a label. So I want to be able to go to the computer and type in the word label and see all the label dies that I own, for example. And so that's what I did. And there's pictures there, and you hover over it and it's bigger. And I was like, oh yeah. And I never would have thought of smooth sailing for a card that is not related to sailing. Now I know some people are really good, like they're better than me, and they just know where all these type of dies are. Awesome, but not me. So I would either have to go sift through all my dies or something to get to this point, unless it was just on top of my mind. So anyway, that's one of the things I use my Stampin' Stuff for. And this is the die I'm going to use today for my greeting. And it was just the right shape and sort of size for the greeting I wanted, which was birthday wishes. And I've got to remember to stamp the inside of the card at the right point, or else it'll be difficult. Or I mean, if I mess it up, I'll ruin my card. So I got to remember that. But I'm going to use the large flower, may your day be filled with heartfelt happiness and birthday wishes for this card. And then the denim ribbon, which is amazing with the In Good Taste designer paper. I basically didn't use this ribbon last year, but now I love it. And this is just a half a pack left from a class I did, so that's why it's not on a roll. And then our pearls. I think that's it. Okay, so this card, I'm not going to fold the card base in half. I'm going to do one of these. This has been around for quite a while, but I remembered it when I was like literally getting ready in the morning one day. And I was like, I have to design all those cards today with Fancy Phrases bundle. And I remembered that there was a tag topper card that you can do. Let me look at at these comments real quick because I see a question from Rhonda. But thank you for sharing, Linda and Jen. Catherine, I mean, I think you might have missed the first card, which I think was a little cute, so feel free to go back and watch that later. Della says she's late, but she'll watch replay. Rhonda, so do the stamp sets drop off the website as they retire? They do not drop off. We just mark them as retired. Currently, we only have last year's annual catalog and this year's annual catalog and the mini catalog that just ended on the website. We are going to add some older stuff. It's just on the to-do list. Anyway, and then as things retire, they get marked as retired, which is nice because, like, for me as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I don't use retired stuff, but customers do. So you might have your stuff in a different place in your home so you can know that's retired. It'll be in this cabinet. That's current. It'll be here or whatever. And you can make notes on all of your products. So you can make a note and you can make as many lists as you want. So a list of your favorites, your go-tos, your wish list, what you own, but anything you can think of on a list. And then to top that off, oh, I lost my train of thought. The list, oh, like in the notes, you can say loaned this to Rhonda. Susie has this, whatever. So it's pretty amazing. You can even add your own tags if you think it needs a tag that we didn't add. And then that's only for you, but it'll be searchable by you. Okay, so we're gonna not fold this in half. We're just gonna make the two ends meet, which for some reason on a video is more difficult. And then slide both of those ends all the way into this punch. So I think maybe doing this on colored cardstock would be more difficult because that's thicker. It would be thicker to push in and thicker to punch through. You can do it on designer paper. It'd be perfect. So you put it all the way in and then just center it top to bottom as best you can. I'm at a bad angle right now. And then punch through both layers. I'm definitely at a bad angle. Can't get that power. And then you have that. And then you have to read my little notes because, okay, so punch first. Then we're going to bring in our paper trimmer, which I should have left room for with these stamps. Because I use my trimmer sideways, like opposite of what most people do. So let me just move my stamps. And with our trimmer, we're going to cut off these 4 tabs. And the way you do that is, it's a visual. Let me grab my readers if they, yes. It's a visual, and so you're just going to place, this groove is where you're, on any trimmer, this is the Stampin' Up! One, but the groove is where it cuts. So you're going to place it so that you see about half of that groove in this little opening here. And then use your cutting blade, and as you come over slowly, you can hear and feel when it stops cutting, and so you stop. And then I start from this end so I get the same effect. I don't know if y'all can hear that cutting on there, but I hear it very well. And then same on this end. So that's how you make that part. Then you use the scoring blade on your trimmer, which on ours is the lighter color. And you put, not here, but this piece here up to 4 1/4 inches. So right there on the ruler is 4 1/4. And you score. And then fold that over. This is me. I have to do this so I get it correct. And then now I know which side needs to be scored, and I need to score right here. Not this one, but this little flap's going to fold over. So again, you just kind of align it halfway through that groove and score. And then that gets folded over. And that is, and I made one of these in my club. If some of y'all remember, Rhonda probably remembers years ago. I call it a side tag topper closure, but I don't know if there's an official name. And it was never my original idea. I always got the idea from someone else. Okay, so I did it correctly. Oh no, it's fine. Okay, so bring our pieces back in, and that's all there is to this card. The rest is just decorating it and tying a ribbon here. So super easy. Let me turn it the correct way. This one would need to be untied to open, and there's so many different ways you could decorate it. You could, again, start with designer paper that you cut to 5.5 by 8.5 to make the normal size card and do the punching and all that. Many different ways. This is the decorating part's just how I'm doing this card. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on these 2 pieces of white. Let's put that there. So on this one is our greeting. Oh, the inside though. I don't want to forget that. I'm going to stamp my greeting right here on the inside, and I don't want to do that after it's all put together and then I ruin it. So Night of Navy right here. And then this is where, because I'm putting designer paper here, this is where I would write my note in this card. But if you put a different color paper on this side, lighter, or did it different, you could write your note on this side, on the right. Okay, good. So there's my greeting for the inside. Now let me set all this aside, and we'll do birthday wishes. Remember not to press hard on our ink pads if you want a good image. And then I'm just going to make a background on this piece. So this flower makes a really good background stamp. Like you can just make a pattern basically. Looks kind of like a toile. That's it. Super simple. I'm going to use that on the next card in a different color. So let me go ahead and clean it real quick. Grab my chamois. This is the chamois I only use for videos, so that's why it's not as dirty as my other ones, but it's slowly getting fully stained, which is normal. Just rinse that in water when it's too dirty, and it'll be good to go again. Okay, so for assembly, oh, and I'm going to use, I forgot. Oh, no, I didn't use, yeah, sorry. The pearls are for this card. Actually, I need to die cut this out real quick. Sorry, I got scattered all of a sudden. So, Big Shot, August 4th, demonstrators can order the new big die cutting machine. And September 1st, customers can order the new big die cutting machine. And then the other products that go with our die cutting line, machine-wise, come on later. But Big Shot will always work with our dies. Also, this has a little stitching. I don't know if you can see it, but that's another thing that's cute about that one. What am I trying to say? Big Shot's gonna work, so you don't have to run out and buy the new machine. But I can't wait to get it myself just to see how awesome it is. Okay. So this is my piece just for the inside of the card. So remember, tilt it all the way back with our new stamp and seal. All the way back. Till it breaks. And that's going to go inside my card. And if y'all comment, if you come on, comment to be entered to win these cards today. If you share, you'll get entered again, and you can comment that you shared. So that's the inside of my card. That's done. And then for the front, it's simply we're going to layer that Whisper White we stamped onto the Night of Navy. And then layer this on that front flap. So the measurements I gave you on this fit this front flap with a border, if that's what you're going for. And then our greeting is just going to be put on with Stampin' Dimensionals, I'm just going to tear this edge off here. And I want to make sure I put it only on the left side of the back of the left side. Because I'm just placing it like right here. It's not exactly necessarily centered. It's just right there. So, everybody knows what the inside looks like. We're done with seeing that right now because I'm going to tie my bow now. And this is what I normally do, is just leave the ribbon on the roll to tie it so there's no waste on one side. It was difficult to do it with the other because of the double bow. And I want a fairly large bow because it'll look really pretty. Tweezers. Getting confused which string I needed to grab there. And then the bow. Or adjust the bow, I should say. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm just going to add some pearls because I think it's really pretty, but it's a little, like it's just missing a little something. So, excuse me. I can get rid of my sticky note that says stamp inside. These are some pearls. Obviously, I've used a bunch of them. Then I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. I usually use the pointy end, but you can use the what's that called? Spatula. And I used medium pearls for this card. And so you just sprinkle them around. Odd numbers are good when you're doing this, you know, throwing an embellishment on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So there's that card. See what you think about that one. Thank you, Pat. Hey, Jewel, good to see you. Thank you, Elaine. Jennifer, thank you for sharing. Diana, thank you for sharing. Thanks, Laura. Thank you, Pam. Somebody said, oh yeah, Pam Simmons. Oh, good. So what Pam just said, a lot of my team, Pam said, thanks for showing this. I've always wondered how to do those. And a lot of people on my team worry that their techniques are, quote, not new. And I'm always like, there's always somebody who hasn't done it, has never seen it, forgot how to do it, forgot about it. You know, there's so many techniques out there that customers, or stampers, I should say, but customers, of course, if you're my team member, don't necessarily know. So don't think you have to show the most earth-shatteringly new technique in the world for people to like your stuff. Okay, last card. This is our more feminine card. We're going to use the Timeless Label Punch, the stamp that says a little something just for you. Memento Black and Petal Pink ink. Oh, and this is I had to write it down, Tasteful Textile embossing folder. Card base, 5.5, 8.5. Petal Pink, 4 by 5 1/4. The designer paper, 3 3/4 by 5. And then we have this piece of Petal Pink, I'll give you the measurements, is for my tag. This pink piece was so I could show you how to measure the tag like I talked about in the very first card. This is a scrap of Whisper White to stamp this flower on. What is this one for? Oh, and a scrap of Whisper White for my greeting. And then the ribbon I'm going to use is the white polka dot tulle. And again, I have a partial roll here left over from where I gave half a roll in a class and had, you know, an odd number of people or whatever. Okay, so card base. This is a normal card. The first two had a little special, but this is normal. So we'll just fold it in half. with the bone folder, of course, set it aside. And then we don't really need to do anything special to those. We're going to stamp, stamp, punch, and emboss. Okay, so black. So we're using Memento Black because we're going to color these in with Stampin' Blends. And do not worry, I've colored one and hand cut it out already. So I'm just going to demo the blends for like 5 seconds, maybe 10. And then the greeting, I'm going to stamp in Petal Pink on this piece and then punch it out. So I re-inked one little section for this. I didn't want to waste my re-inker, but it needed a little. And I put it to the side a little bit so that I can hold on to the edge of this piece when I put it in here. Position it exactly how I want it. Get it, you know, hold it where it's not falling out so I can use 2 hands and squeeze. And then to color this, I used Petal Pink. That's not Petal Pink. Soft Seaside Spray, Just Jade, and So Saffron. I kind of use the catalog as an inspiration for what flowers to color what color. I do that a lot. And I'm just going to go in with dark first, one section, sort of a few images at a time. I'm not going to color every flower. I want pink at first because then this alcohol ink will dry and not blend as well. And then light over the whole thing, including the dark part. These are Stampin' Blends, they're alcohol markers, so the light and dark blend together. You still get the dark effect. I'm gonna use the other brush tip, but you don't get a harsh line. You can color with these as long as you want. I could keep doing this for 30 minutes and the paper will not buckle up, bend, you know, get wet, whatever, because it's alcohol. You can go back and add more dark if you want. You can go back and blend it out. You can combine different colors that aren't even the same on top of each other. These are amazing. That's how you color with Stampin' Blends. And then we're going to hand cut this out. So that was the super quick version. I showed you all the colors. I didn't get incredibly detailed, so the centers are just still white. And that's how I colored it though. And then I took the clear Wink of Stella. When you buy this, you like unscrew the lid and take off a black ring. And when you screw it back on, it pierces a hole and then you have to press for quite a while. But if you just squeeze crazy, you kind of ruin your pen and it all comes out. But if you just press several times, let it rest and soak down, press, it'll finally get started. And then the ink is in there and it's more rare when you have to give it a little push in between uses. So it's probably not going to show up too well on the video. The shimmer, I couldn't even get a good photo of it, honestly. But if you know about Wink of Stella, you know what kind of glittery amazingness this adds to your projects. And one thing I like about, and I just did it on the pink flowers just to make them different. One thing I like about Stampin' Blends is that ink is alcohol based, so it's not water based and it doesn't bleed when you use the Wink of Stella. Sometimes when you color on top of, say, something you stamped in Night of Navy, that blue ink might bleed because this is wet and this is water based. So I like using blends on designer paper because it's printed, and Stampin' Blends. So just a tip there. By the way, on Stampin' Blends, if you're not familiar with them, you need to use a water-based ink like Memento Black. Again, no, I haven't said that yet, but StazOn is a black ink we sell. It's alcohol-based, so don't use it with Stampin' Blends. Don't use StazOn with blends. StazOn is for watercoloring. Okay, and then with my punch, I'm just going to make a tag. This one's not getting stamped on. Let me measure this for y'all first. if I have my ruler still. So I know it's here in front of me, but I don't see it. So let's use this ruler. 4 1/4 inches by 2. It's 2 inches because of the punch, by 4 1/4. So I'm going to punch that. And then I'm going to run it through the die cutting machine with the Tasteful Textile embossing folder, and it's going to come out all textured up. The texture is a little bit different on each side. You can decide which one you want to show on your project. And so this was one where I was going to show you, I punch it, then I put it on my project and figure out how long do I want this tag to be. And I usually just make a little mark with my fingernail. And then I put this back on and measure how long that is to be able to make multiples. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, if that little fingernail mark is, like this is 4 1/4. So if my fingernail mark is 4 1/8 or 4 1/16, I'll round it up to 1/4 or go back down to 4 inches to make multiple cutting easier. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so the rest of this card assembly is pretty simple. We're going to put it together. So attach the designer paper to the petal pink cardstock. Of course, y'all know all of Stampin' Up's colors match and coordinate. You don't have to go to any other source to get what you need. So I have petal pink cardstock, petal pink ink, petal pink Stampin' Blend. Like, it's all, that hard work is done for you. But if you don't know that, now you do. And then if you purchase like a designer paper, it's going to only contain Stampin' Up colors, for example. And so, again, your mixing and matching and color coordination is done for you. I have my tag. And at first I was going to put it straight like I always do everything. And then I decided, oh, you can put stuff at an angle. So I did. Stampin' Dimensionals for my flowers. Grab sticky scissors. Also going to put Stampin' Dimensionals on my greeting. So I just put that in like 4 spots. This one's kind of low, but whatever. And then I'll just tear off the edge here for this one. Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to tie my bow first, but it doesn't really matter. But this is just a bow in here. So I fed it through. And then I did end up going ahead and tying it one time and then making a bow with my Whisper White polka dot tool. Forgot about that. Luckily, I didn't glue that top part down. So like I said, this is a more feminine card, a little more flowy. You can fix your bow better, of course, when you aren't pressured for time. And then just add these two. And then I am going to add pearls to this one as well to finish it off. I guess the one with the pearls earlier was also feminine. I mean, they all definitely can be, like I said, but adding pearls to your card will definitely take it up to that feminine level. So if you don't want that, leave those off. But I forgot I was using these or I would not have closed that up yet. And I used medium again. And an odd number. I did try coloring these petal pink with my Stampin' Blend, which completely works, but I didn't like how it looked on this card, so I didn't use them that way. So there's number 5 to make it an odd number. So there's the last card. Let's see what y'all think. Woo! Good morning, Sherry. Hey, Mary. Thanks for sharing. Joni, thank you. I'm glad you love the cards. Teresa, I'm glad you like the colors. Good, Jennifer. I'm glad I showed you an easy technique. Diana, please, please case my cards. I would love it. I mean, you can post on here as well, but I have a customer VIP group, which you guys can join, and anyone can post on there, like, stuff they've made, but, so of course, do that if you're in the group, but there are times also when I actually remember to say, hey, what have you guys been working on lately, and ask people to post what they've been working on, or like we did around Father's Day, people posted what they were making for that. So that's a place. Here and there are places where you can share stuff you've been working on personally, and if it's working on casing one of my cards, that would be awesome, because you know, everybody wants to feel like they made something caseable, which means copy and share everything. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Cindy. Oh, y'all are nice. Thanks, Pat and Stacy, Mary Ann. Thank you very much. Hey, Della, good to see you. Thank you, thank you. Yes, that wood background, y'all. So good. Awesome. Well, let me bring the camera back up, and I think we're basically finished, which it's time, so thank you. Candy, yes, I know we miss our live classes. Thank you, Landa. All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in today. Hope you have a great week, a great weekend, a great everything. But thanks for the hearts. I should see you guys back here next Thursday on a Facebook Live. If you're taking the new catalog kickoff, we'll see you Saturday on that, over on that Facebook group. Any questions on anything I talked about today, just let me know. I can give you links. I can help you with your starter kit, get you signed up for classes, all that stuff. So thank you, Sherry. See you guys later. Bye.